Alright folks, this one's a little different. I want to talk to you guys about that very thing you see Mario sitting in right there, the card itself. Alright, if you've been playing Mario Kart for as long as I have, since the days of Super Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, when the Super Nintendo was still out, blah blah blah, you know that the kart only had two parts. There were no gliders. We got that recently. The kart itself looked like this. It was just the car. It was just the driver. These were the only two car parts you had. And frankly, these were the only two car parts you needed. Stats, well, they didn't look like this. In fact, stats were only based off of a couple of things. The main three are the top three you see: speed, acceleration, and weight. Now, I mentioned this before, I don't like to use anyone particularly heavy when I race, but I do have my exceptions. Rosalina is one. I'm still learning how to use her. But in all accounts, I usually rock the lightweight characters or the middleweight characters. And let's speak on the weight for a minute. In Mario Kart 7, probably, actually no, it's before that. In Double Dash, you know, two-seater karts, weight changes came along. The first most notable weight change belonged to Yoshi and Princess Peach. Back in the days, these two were lightweight characters alongside Toad. They were known to have that quick kick, that low speed, and that lightweight to help them zip around the track. But as Double Dash came along, Peach and Yoshi gained some weight. So they're now middleweight characters. A lot of things when it comes to weight make or break a driver in the car. When I rock light characters, I rock them because, well, that's what I'm used to. I'm used to doing the heavier stuff when Mario Kart 64 came along and for battle. And when I did battle mode, I used Wario. I don't do too much battling anymore, frankly, because the battle modes now suck a whole lot of ass. I mean, seriously. Things were so much simpler back then. Let's see. Here's something you should know. Toad has also gained some weight. Some people can make fun of it from the fact that all the Toad's weight went to his ass. But as you can see, 2.5 bars. He's pretty much almost a middleweight. But he gained weight in good ways, some would say. Now, in the Mario Kart Direct on April 30th, they mentioned something very interesting. They called Wendy Okupa fat. So, here's how you tell the actual weight of your characters. And you pretty much use the standard tires and glider with the pipe frame, as the pipe frame was the original kart. Notice how Peach has 3 bars of weight. Now let's compare it to Wendy's weight. In light of her being fat, she actually weighs a lot less, well, not really a lot, but half a bar less than Princess Peach. Everybody makes fun of the little water turtle. Yeah, I'm looking at you too. Yet she's lighter than Peachy herself. And another thing about weight. A lot of people in Mario Kart 7, if you know time trials, they like to do the March of the Metal Marios. And I'll show you why. Let's use another car, for example. No, we can do a better one. Almost. Well, let's use this car. We'll change the tires up. The main majority of people that use Metal Mario use him because of his speed. Everybody who's played Mario Kart 7 knows that in his B Dasher, his speed is almost maxed out. Which, sadly, is kind of a drag. Especially when you're trying to beat him in time trials around the world. Everyone knows this. But what am I getting at here? You're probably wondering. Well, this is what I'm getting at. Other than the fact that I like to use light and middleweight characters, I find them a lot more playable control-wise. Heavier characters seem to give me a lot more problems, and a lot more problems for other racers as well. But keep in mind one thing when it comes to how you build your car, and I'll get into that in a couple of seconds. Actually, in about 30. The way you build your car, when it comes to speed and weight and all that, there's always a drawback. Heavier characters have higher speed, but their kick in the tank, aka acceleration, suffers for it. Lightweight characters have a lot of acceleration. They got the kick in the tank to get them going. But if you notice, speed takes a nosedive, and a serious nosedive. This brings an interesting question. When you do your car parts, how do you build your car? Some people build it for speed, some people build it for handling, some people build it with stuff that they like. When I build a car for driving, whether it's in Mario Kart 8 or 7, I like to try to make things leveled out. That way, it takes away a lot of the weaknesses that the driver may have. Because remember, the driver is the most important car part in Mario Kart. That's how a lot of things are gauged, by their weight and the character's size, which is one of the things that Mario Kart 7, 8, and their predecessor Mario Kart Wii introduced. Which, mind you, is a horrible premises, because let's face it, Waluigi in Double Dash was a middleweight character, but because of his slender frame and his dinky looking arms and legs, he is considered in the heavyweight classes alongside Bowser, DK, and all that. The same goes for Rosalina. Come on, think about it. How is someone this tall going to weigh that much? She spends most of her time outer space. So let's use the Cloud Runner here, Lakitu, and build a decent run out. We'll use the standard Kart, for example. As you can see, he's pretty well rounded, just like this. But as you tamper with things, gliders and whatnot, we'll use this one, stats change by the tides, their ebb and their flow. You want to try to level out their stats as best as you can. That looks pretty well. Let's try something else. Let's try, this horrible atrocity. See how the stats change? Remember, the best thing you want to do is to try to level it out as much as you can. Mario Kart 8 introduces ATVs to the scheme. We got bikes in Wii, and now we have these wonderful ATVs. The standard, Wig, and the teddy bear, and in all honesty, we need more ATVs. I'm sorry. So when Mario Kart 9 comes out and they hopefully bring back the ATVs, hopefully we can get more than 3. And another thing, what's up with these repeats? I mean, it was bad enough with the monster tires, but another pair of standard tires, another pair of rollers, come on. You can give me more ATVs or gliders. Which is good because they needed to give you more gliders because there were only 6 in Mario Kart 7. Regardless of how you build your car, try to level it out as best as you can. Your racing will be much better this way. Thanks for listening.